Right, the final crew for the final saga is a very interesting topic. Uh, because I think it's done now, right? The crew's finished. That's it. We got what we got now, in my opinion. Obviously, I still think Vivi is going to join, but we'll talk about that in a second. This is basically going to be my what happened to Vivi video, but probably going to title it as the final Straw Hat crew or whatever. So here's the crew now. At this point, it's Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami, Robin, Usopp, Frankie, Brook, Jinbei, Yamato, and Vivi. That's the final crew. Now, do I think Yamato is going to join the crew? Yeah, I still think that, personally. Because, honestly, I don't know, having Kaido's, like, going into the final saga, having the big villain of the last saga, having his, like, offspring be one of the members of the crew would just be hilarious. Like, not only am I gonna ruin everything you've ever had, your child is gonna, like, conform to my beliefs now and become one of my top commanders. You know, I just think that's hilarious, and I think I like that newspaper chapter when the whole world finds out Kaido's son just decided to join the Straw Hats. You know, I don't think you realize Yamato is gonna have a lot of reactions. Like, he is he's gonna be like, the world's gonna go crazy because, like, think of it, like, he's one of the former Yonko's son, right? It's like, that's gonna cause some reaction, and that's really why I wanted him on the crew in the first place, right? That's the whole reason why I'm on. It's just that reaction from the world, right? But then obviously we got Vivi, but that's an interesting question. How do we think Vivi's doing right now? Because I don't know if I said this in the review, but, like, in my personal opinion, we have currently Sabo's off doing his own thing. I know for, like, up until the latest chapter, I was like, alright, Sabo's away with Vivi. Kuma got Sabo and Vivi out of there. But no, I think Sabo is, like, focused. You know, something happened at the Reverie, and now he's more focused on an external goal to help the revolution. Now, I feel like he might have fucked it up a bit, because Dragon was like, what the fuck did you do? Like, he was looking at him like, what the hell? It was like, that wasn't the plan, right? But obviously he saved Kuma, so we got that. They're all safe. But this is why I think Vivi is safe, right? Because, for one, we can't have... At this point, I've realized we can't have Luffy go to Marjwa. Like, it doesn't seem like it's been set up anymore, right? Shanks is here. It's all about the final saga. We got a 3-year time limit. So, at most, we got 150 chapters, right? And it's probably going to be more like 90 to 100 chapters because Oda only does like 36 chapters a year to 40 chapters a year. So, if we go by 40 chapters a year, I mean, that's still 120 chapters, but, like, I'd say it's going to be more 100 chapters until the end of the story, which, you know what? That's a decent amount, but I don't think it's enough for a big invasion, especially if we're going to have the final war. So, Sabo's off, basically, setting up for the final war. I know I made a video before and I scrapped it because I kind of changed my mind halfway through the video, where I was saying the final war, like, how the final war will break out. Now I believe, like, the final war is gonna break out, right? Like, before they find the One Piece, but they're not gonna get involved. Like, the Straw Hats aren't gonna get involved until after they find the One Piece. That's my opinion, to be honest with you. Because I feel like Sabo is going to push this big, huge war that maybe the Straw Hats aren't interested in, because it doesn't really matter to them at the minute, but once they find the One Piece, it's going to have a level of importance. Like, basically, the final war is going to start off as a B-plot, right? The journey of finding the One Piece, and then once they find the One Piece, we're midway through the war, and Luffy shows up with his entire crew, and it's like in Marineford, but, like, Luffy comes flying in with his, like, 12 to 13 members, bam, you've got, like, that formation from episode 1000, and they're just there, like... And they come up, and the king of the pirates, he just takes his hat off, goes gear 5th, and starts laughing. Right? I just think that'd be funny. And then we got right in the middle of the battlefield, maybe right before a big clash between, like, Akainu and, like, Blackbeard or something. I don't know. Like, because realistically, do we think Blackbeard is going to be involved in the final war? Because in this case, we could have two separate things happen, right? We could have Blackbeard fight we could have Blackbeard fight Luffy while they're getting the One Piece. Or we could have him be like a secondary opponent for afterwards. You know, maybe he does care about the One Piece, but maybe the war presented an even better opportunity and he takes that. He takes precedence in that regard. And then Shanks is the main rival for the One Piece, but then it's a more friendly style thing until we get out of it, and then it's a more serious situation. I don't know, something like that. My point being is, like, our B plot is going to heavily involve Sabo from here on out, and the start of that big war that the Straw Hats aren't really going to be involved in. We'll probably get a lot of interlude chapters. Like, if we get, let's say we get like 4 more arcs, 4 like 30 chapter arcs before, or no, we get Elbath. Let's say we get Elbath and Lodestar before we go to the One Piece or whatever, right? So there's 4 more arcs including Laugh Tale and the Final War. So then we get 4 more chapters on the build-up or towards the like final war. Maybe we do 8. Maybe he has 2 chapters at the start and end of every arc. So we get 8 chapters on the final war and Sabo's involvement in it. But I do believe, going back to what I was saying in the original, is that Vivi was basically saved by Kuma, okay? I don't know. However he was free, he's aware of Vivi's relation to the Straw Hats, because I'm sure Sabo is as well. And in my opinion, this goes to one of 2 ways, right? Either Vivi and Cobra were both gone into the Elder Stars, and Cobra protected Vivi as he was dying, and she starts running, and the God Knights are going after, and like Sabo and all them are fighting, and then they notice that, so they get them out of the way, right? They save them, and Kuma, you know, does this little thing and sends them to the Straw Hats. Because we know he has done that before. And I know you might think, what's his motives? But like, obviously, he knows that she has a connection to the Straw Hats. And that she'd probably be safer with them. Or at least be somewhat skilled. My only problem with Vivi joining the Straw Hats is that she wouldn't be that strong. But then we've seen like Luffy go from a first commander, well, not even a first commander, because he was struggling with Katakuri. Katakuri had to like really, you know what, no, wait a second, go back. He wasn't even first commander level. Before he got up to the rooftop, he was fucking Toby Ropo level. He was struggling against Ulti, man. So like, that growth like is ridiculous. And even think of Nami, right? Nami went from like foot soldier level this arc to like, you know, Toby Ropo level herself, like one of the, you know what I mean, within that tier. So like, the Straw Hats growth have been pretty crazy. So you could just say, like, that because this is a big war, Vivi's hockey bloom is insane. Plus the emotions of losing her father might have activated a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Because, like, think of Luffy's Conqueror's hockey. That was first properly used when he thought Ace was going to die. So we could see the reason she got away for so long is, what if her Conqueror's hockey awakened as her father died and she was like, no, and it knocked out all the God Knights, kind of like that or something, you know? And then it's just about learning as you go, because we know Kid did the same thing. Now that was 2 years, but this is going to be crazy intense. You're going to be going up against the Red Force Pirate, the Blackbeard Pirates, and all that. And even what I was thinking about as I was sitting here was her moveset, right? Her moveset could totally be something like, we know Usopp and Frankie are getting power-ups in terms of their abilities and their intelligence. You know, Frankie's getting Queen Tech and stuff. She could be a mix of like the Straw Hats abilities, right? Like, we could get Frankie and Usopp making weapons for her that can compensate for her lack of experience, okay? She could be the weakest straw, well, not the weakest Straw Hat. She could be the weakest Straw Hat, yeah. But she is elevated by the abilities of the Straw Hats. And even at this point, right, we got Jinbei, right? Jinbei knows Fisherman Karate and stuff. So she could be taught that type of thing really quickly. I'd say it'd be something Vivi would pick up on quite a lot. Because although sand and water aren't the same, like, I'm sure she's learned how to move in difficult situations, so I'm sure she's relatively able to do like those sort of stances very easily and kind of get it down quickly. I don't know if that makes any sense. But like, my point being is that she could be, with all of Frankie's upgrades, she could have some elevate, like a weapon like the climb attack, but something more suited to her. That is way more effective because now they have Queen Tech. Yeah, and something that can help her learn as we go, and eventually she'll get better, because we're in the most like, we're going to be in the most heavy and most aggressive part of the story. So she's going to be like throwing straight into the thing. So I just believe she's going to grow as we fight, right? She's going to grow in every single fight. Her growth is going to be insane, right? It's going to be similar. I'd say her growth will be similar to Luffy's, right? In my opinion, I think it's going to be crazy. She's not going to get to Luffy's level, obviously, but I just mean she's probably going to go from like East Blue Luffy to fucking post time skip Luffy in the course of this story. You know what I mean? Like in the course of like a few months, like that, because of how mad these few arcs are going to be, right? In my personal opinion, I think Vivi is going to wreck house, personally. Like destroy everything. In terms of like expectations. You know, she's going to be quite strong. As the arcs go on, she might be weak for a while, and we get an arc with Usopp, and maybe she's taking, you know, Usopp, maybe she grows on Usopp a bit, like Usopp, because she's seeing what he used to be like, and now he's more strong, more able to support people, and he's going through issues, and she's the one who boosts him up. Like, I remember when you were at Alabasta, and you were trying so hard and you couldn't do much, but look at you now, look at what you're doing, you're able to support, you are the ultimate support. Even in Wano, I know people say he hasn't done much, but think of it. Nami would be dead so many times if it wasn't for Usopp in this fight with Ulti. Usopp was the ultimate G, man. He was saving everyone left and right. He was such an absolute madman. I love the guy. He was like, his plant greens were saving Nami's ass so many times from Ulti, man. Like, so he's going to be bigged up by Vivi, but also Vivi might be inspired by him to grow more. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like it would make sense. Plus, we know she's part of the crew, and she needs to come back for this final saga, right? And I think it'd be good as well, because if you think about it, come on, man. Her dad's dead. Yeah, she has to rule her country, but she needs to protect the world first, right? And maybe she thinks the best way to do that is by going with the Straw Hats, because she's seeing what they've been doing. Maybe it's time to think of another way to protect your country other than just ruining it, right? Especially if Pell and the dog fella are presumed to be dead. She has no one now. You know what I mean? This is the best she got. But I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to Vivi rejoining the crew personally. And then with Yamato, I'm really looking forward to Yamato and kind of bonding with the crew. She's probably going to be very close with Zoro. I hope there's like another rivalry. Like if we have the like 3 biggest commanders in like Sanji, Zoro, and Yamato. If there's like a thing where Yamato doesn't like Sanji but really likes Zoro because Zoro's like Ushimaru, or he looks like Ushimaru, I think that would be a really interesting way to like push the Zoro versus Sanji agenda, because like, I don't know, just having like Yamato be in the middle of those two. Just kind of like trying to big up Zoro, getting Sanji even more annoyed, pissing him off even more because he doesn't know what to do, because he doesn't want to hit Yamato or like annoy Yamato because, you know, his chivalrous type stuff. But then he hates that she's all about Zoro, and he's like, oh, you know, and I think that'd be funny because Jinbei, even if he was part of the big like the monster trio, the new monster trio, because the captain is on a whole different level. Right, like he wouldn't do much at all because he's just chill, man. He's just chill. He wouldn't go to any gags whatsoever. He's just the chill guy. He's just happy to be there. You know what I mean? He's just like, yeah, I've experienced it all. I'm good. You know, so I think the crew dynamics would be really, really enjoyable for this final saga, as we're just kind of, everyone now besides Yamato is a pre-established character. So it's mainly going to be focused on Yamato for, I'd say, a bit, like the crew dynamics and interactions, because everyone's pre-established. Jinbei's been around since Fishman Island. Vivi's been around since Whiskey Peak, you know? So if Vivi joins back with the crew, we can have another crew member and not have to worry about the characterization. I think that's the best way to put it, right? So it's going to... I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I'm just really hyped. This idea has got me really excited. Personally, especially to see such massive growth in a character. I understand. I don't know. Personally, that's what I'm loving to see. Elbath, I don't know what's going on now. I really think it's just going to be Elbath Lodestar and then Laugh Tale and Final War. And we might get a tiny arc in between there, like a 5-chapter or 6-chapter, like prologue to the Final War chapter, or like beginnings of the Final War, or something like that. Or imagine he calls it the Great War. I don't know, but something like that, you know? With that being said, let me know what you guys think about the final saga and the final war and the final crewmates of the Straw Hat Pirates. And if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content from me. And with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!